So. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of our Ultimate Decades Challenge with the Squire family. We are going to be in 1321 and 1322 today. Currently, right now, we are still in 1320 because I have been working hard off camera, doing a lot of management things, and we have several things that we have to go over today. One of them is that we have messed up on some of the aging. I say we, but it was totally me. I was just doing all this stuff off camera, spreadsheets, family tree, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. How is Catherine still an infant? So it was actually Catherine, Felix, and Sawyer who we lost like 5 days. So I have them all set with the appropriate number of days so that they will age up automatically. So I've set it up in MC Command Center based on my aging system. Well, at some point, the aging got turned off. So when Sawyer was gone living with Mare, those days did not get taken off of his lifespan. And then, of course, we have Felix and Catherine as well that did not age appropriately. And I'm going to need to eventually fix it for Mare and Thora. Okay, Harmony's having a hard time with the difficult family. Interesting. All right, so big thing, house tour. As you can see, it's different. It is very different. So several things that I have done. Wow, she is, girl, why don't you like go take an angry poop or something? Thank you. I have locked the refrigerator behind a door. So that's number one. We have locked the refrigerator up, and currently Harmony and Lassie are the only two who can access the fridge. I suspect they're still going to cook grilled cheese and mac and cheese randomly, but at least it's only two Sims that we have to keep our eye on. And hopefully that will help. And then we have put in stairs. And these beams are kind of, when I move, because they're overlapping. So I'm going to have to try to fix that. And they might not work very well fitting in this room. But we'll see. So I put in stairs. So that really changed the layout of this room. We can only fit one crib in here. They have their toy box. And then we've put this here. I changed the showers. So they've gotten a little craftier with their showers, and they're now using barrels so that they can hold more water at one time. And I stuck one outside so they have an extra shower as well. And then going upstairs, we have the little separate area for Lassie and Folk. Wow, these Sims are really going through it right now. Everyone's getting negative everything. I don't know what's up. So Folk has his little study area here. Their bathroom is here as well. And then they have this cute little bedroom. And this is something that Rune made. The way that I'm viewing this is that Lassie has kind of, made this a cute little room for her and her husband. So she's done some decorating. She got some plants from outside and fashioned them into nice, cool curtains with, the wood curtain rod. Got a log from outside for the cat to scratch on, and given the cat a little bed here. So she's made this a cute little area for her and her hubby up here. And I have made it so this door can be locked. I need to allow it to Lassie as well so she can use the bathroom up here. Okay, now that's set. The refrigerator room is already set. It pretty much looks the same from outside. And I have re-uploaded this to the gallery. Oh, yay. Huxley has his first blowout. Okay, so I have already aged up Catherine and Felix, and I'm going to transfer to that footage now. Alrighty, so here we are popping over to age up Felix and then Catherine. I don't know why I did it in this order, but I did. Catherine technically came first. So here I am trying to do it with MC Command Center, but it does not work, and I have to go into CAS it will not age up the infants for some reason. So we end up going into Cass, and he is so cute. I don't know why I keep forgetting that Felix exists. I am so sorry. I don't know. And he's super grumpy, cute, but grumpy. Now note, I'm using the old aging system because this was filmed before I fully changed it. So the toddlers are 4 and 8. They cannot roll a 4 or an 8. And he rolled 13, so Felix survives, and he is such a cutie. It's wild. And then we're going to pop over to Miss Catherine's place. Look at her looking at Walter all adoringly. So we just go right into Cass because we know MC Command Center is not going to allow us to age her up. And I don't know why. I can't really explain it because Catherine was an infant, obviously, but she gives me main character energy. So I was super stressed about this role. And here she is, all aged up, super cute. If you know the Watson family, they have very strong genes. So I'm very curious to see how she turns out. I shouldn't say strong genes. It's more like strong features. But I was like so looking forward to knowing if she survives because I feel like she's going to be a main character. I don't know why. So we are going to roll for her, and she cannot roll a 4 or an 8. Let's roll. Any day now. This is why I don't do voiceovers after. And she rolls a 6, so she survives. And I'm very excited. I don't know where she's going to go in life. I just get main character energy. Maybe it's the name Catherine. We still have crying babies. Surprise, surprise. Who is shocked? Nobody. Girl, you need to, like, get it together here. Clean up your child again, because he's still disgusting. And then you need to feed him, which I've been trying to get you to do for like 20 minutes. All right, we have to age him up. It is his turn. And like I said, I fixed everybody else except for Mare and Thora. I have to do that yet. Please let him milk you. I miss Mudana, but Pork Chop is pretty cute too. I mean, they're identical, but... Alright, Sawyer, baby. Wait. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is right. I'm just second guessing myself. It's close enough. Today, it might have been like tomorrow, but whatever. It's close enough. All right, Sawyer has aged up. He is erratic and he can't even read. Erratic and paranoid. Oh boy. Erratic and paranoid. Okay. Carefree and rules free. That sounds pretty good for him. Oh my gosh. Sawyer, you are so cute. Okay. Oh, I'm scared. He cannot roll a 7. 16, so he is okay. I'm going to have to do some creative sim with him. And then from there, everything should be good. And I'm going to come back basically for Folk's birthday, when we're technically supposed to be starting this episode. So I'm going to first have Lassie and Folk do a little woohoo. I mean, school's great, kids, but in medieval times, we don't do school. Oh my god, he's so cute and he's so unique looking. Like, he looks so much different from his siblings. I love it. All right, they're going to do a woohoo. I'm going to do create a sim, and we will come back from Folk's birthday, and I will reveal my aging system final numbers. Wow, that was loud. I just jumped. I have Radcliffe and Haywood written down here, but I don't remember what my point was about them. I don't remember why I have that written down on my list. Do we have to age them up too? Is that why I have them written down? Hold on. We do. We actually do. So we do have to go age up Radcliffe and Haywood. Let's just do that now. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. So Radcliffe is the older one, I believe. Do not take that child outside. Oh my god. Let's just set the child down in a freaking storm. Alright, we're gonna have to go do this in CAS. Oh boy. Perfect shot. Alright. Toddler is 4 and 8. 10. Radcliffe is okay. Oh, they both look very grumpy. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's too funny. 4 or 8. Okay, they both survive. Now I'm going to go home and take care of create a sim, and we will come back and take care of Folk, and I will explain the new aging system. And then we have a couple of new sims in the world that I want to talk about as well. Kind of had to backtrack into 1320 and get all these guys sorted out. My apologies for that. And nobody else noticed either, so at first I thought I was wrong. But I double and triple checked my math and their birthdays and everything, and it just right. I mean, Catherine's going to be a child soon. We like totally skipped her toddler stage. And that's on me. I didn't realize they weren't aging. And like I said, I don't know why it stopped aging. I have no idea, but it should be all sorted out now. And we just have to adjust everybody to make sure that they stay on schedule. And then they should resume aging up on their own. And yeah, that's going to make it so much easier because I thought that's what was going to occur. So I wasn't making a point to track it and go age everybody up. That's on me. My apologies. I was like trying to say my apologies and like I apologize at the same time. Also have to have a little bit of a discussion about Rune. I want to clear up a little bit of like the historical aspect of that. So we will do that as well. Okay, honestly, you all got to get it together. Okay, so she is pregnant. Lassie is pregnant. We are currently in the 2nd trimester. So I think she was pregnant before we did that last woohoo. Oh my gosh, they're just so miserable. Early midlife crisis. Life seems to be passing Runar by these days. It's the same thing day in and day out with nothing to really show for it. It might be time for a change. Uh-oh. Every day is just the same old thing. Time is passing way too fast and Runar is not getting any younger. Technophobe. Well, that's just not... yeah, that's not something that you can... We need to do some inventory cleanup. I think I said that like 2 episodes ago. And I have not done it. Okay. We're just going to all go worship the Watcher. Oh, she's going and she has to pee really bad. Oh my gosh. Her needs are going down so fast. So we're going to have another baby. We actually have to age up Edward and Folk. I think in all that mess, I think they got like about a day behind. So I might just age him up a day earlier than it says. Oh, what's she doing over there, Bubba? Oh, he's so cute. I mean, we could just do a whole episode of staring at this poor child. Go get your diaper changed at daycare. Quote unquote daycare. Fish with bait. Try the mushroom. He was feeling cooped up anyway from his outdoorsy lifestyle. Oh, Sawyer. That's right. Here's Sawyer. Oh. There he is. Kind of gave him that edgy look like he had his whole life. Oh, he's so sad. Oh, you are going through it. Well, you can just eat what he didn't eat. Oh my goodness. Stop standing there. Oh my gosh, they're gonna fight over this baby. Girl, you just need to chill. Why don't you clean this up and then cook? Oh god, he's angry at Lassie for waving at somebody. Like, does she have to apologize for waving at somebody? No. We only have 9 out of 20. I don't think he's going to get this. Because he can't travel very far, you know? Like, I can't take him to Solani to catch fish. Alright, should we do Folk's birthday? Oh, this is stressful. Okay, we're going to go over my aging system revisions. Now, I think I misspoke earlier because I said final. Honestly, I don't know if they're final. But I at least have it worked out as to what I want to do for each lifespan. Basically, what I have done is the young adult role had 5. It had 5 chances to basically die, right? So the young adult role had 5 under Morbid's system. And as we have discussed before, this is not historically accurate just because it's a misunderstanding of what the average life expectancy means. Because at this time, you are more likely to die as a baby, an infant, a toddler, a child, etc. If you made it through those life stages, you are more likely to survive. And mathematically, if we're sticking within the percentages that they say historically was the life expectancy, I took those 5 and added them elsewhere. Okay, so now our babies, infants, and toddlers are all going to have a higher chance of dying. So I added 1 to the baby. So it's now 1, 5, 10, 15, and 20. I added 2 to the infant. It's 4, 12, 16, or 18 now. I added 1 to the toddler. So it's 2, 16, or 2, 8, and 16. I left child the same, I believe. Nothing for preteen. 1 role for teen, 1 role for young adult, 2 roles for adult. And this is when they're about 32 to 52 years old. So I did 2 there instead of doing the end of life role there. I am considering the end of life as an elder. So 52 to question mark age, right, is going to be the end of life. So once they reach, if they make it to adulthood, once they reach their quote unquote elder stage, they're going to have to roll, and they have 3 chances of dying. So if they survive that, then we roll a d20 for the number of years they have left. Now, I wanted to add more. We'll see how it goes, okay? Because we have other events coming up in the future that also add to the life expectancy issue. So if there's people dying during a famine or war, you know, anything like that, that's a part of the calculation for average life expectancy during this time, right? So I didn't want to make it too harsh, but it is definitely much more harsh for babies, infants, and toddlers. I might add more to that 3 for elders, but we're going to see how this goes. We're going to see how it feels as we kind of work through that with folk. But I will add a link to this in the description now. I will add it with the other stuff that I currently have in the description so that everybody can try this out for themselves if they so wish. Gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. So so he's turning into a young adult, so he cannot roll a 13. All right, y'all, he cannot roll a 13. I am going to hold my breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Some may say that, you know, this is way too easy for folk in particular. because he didn't have the harsher roles when he was younger. So I might implement something with him, like, I don't know, an extra role at some point to make up for it. I don't know. It's just, it's hard because I've been revising this as I go, and I understand that that technically means that it has been easier for folk so far. So I do understand that, and I'm thinking about ways to offset that. Make a wish. What do you wish for? I wish it was easier to get pictures of them blowing out the candles. Why is his eyes like that? Why is he a demon? Why is Folk a demon? Oh my goodness. Why does he look like that? Oh my god. Okay. Gosh, I hope he gets some personality with this. No, I'm having a birthday. Alright. Is he going to have some personality? I'm going to allow myself to veto anything that doesn't make sense for the time period. Obviously, I haven't stated that, but I've been doing that. I just haven't said that outright, but that is what I'm doing. A loner. Dude. He is such a rough guy. All right, let's go add birthday candles to this. Well, I guess everybody can eat it because we don't need one for the kid. He's the heir, though. 4, 5. Yeah, it would be today. Would be his birthday. So we actually lost 2 days. Oh, well. It got messed up. It is what it is. Wake up, kiddo. Ew! Oh no, I just hit the wrong button. No, I just went in super speed. I was trying to get a picture. They cannot lose another kid, I swear to you. Oh my god, I'm so scared. Inquisitive. Aw, he has little pigtails. Or little buns. Oh, what is with these grumpy children? Oh boy. Alright. It's now 2, 8, and 16. We cannot lose another baby. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Okay. All right. It is time for Create a Sim. And here is our baby. Cute. I don't know where he's off to. His mom? Asking his mom for a bath? Wow, she is going... They're all going through it. We have a midlife crisis alert. Mr. Runar is having some feelings. It says, Runar has hit the breaking point in life. He feels like his life hasn't been very successful thus far, and he wishes to change that starting now. On the plus side, Runar will gain a career performance bonus during this period. Check the aspiration panel for Runar's midlife crisis desires and complete them to decrease the duration of the midlife crisis. Desires are optional and are replaced with a new one when complete. Midlife crisis. He wants to brag 15 times. Runar wants to brag about things to feel more successful in life. Rune wants to protect his wealth and put some money in a vault. Well, that's not going to happen. A hot tub's not going to happen. Hiring a professional service. Rune wants to be waited on hand and foot. That's what it means to be rich, right? Hire a maid, gardener, or other professional service. Honey, we might be able to do the bragging thing. I don't know where to find it. I don't know. Yeah, here he is. Oh, we're falling asleep standing up. We are feeling it from hunting. Oh my gosh. So he's growing his hair out. There is a hair I would love to use, but it's a little extreme and I don't know how everyone would feel about it. I think I might save it for when he's a little bit older. Oh, Thora had a male baby with Walter. Oh my gosh. So that reminds me. So let's go take care of that. And I will show you the new Sims in the world. So while I'm thinking of it also, Agnes, Lassie's sister, actually married Knox Greenberg and moved to Evergreen Harbor. We can assume she married someone and ran off. And she's like, it's not really somewhere that we can go because that world is very modern, but Agnes found her way out, so that's good. She was a maid in the household that's now the Lightfoot family for some reason, but it was basically the lord, the baron of this area, the redheaded guy there. So she was a maid there, but she got married and got the heck out of here. So really quick before we visit Thora, this is the new family that I have put into the world. I've left the information that the creator had in here. This is from our gallery that people have been uploading Sims to, and let me tell you, there are so many beautiful Sims on there. I can't guarantee when or if I'm going to use your Sim, but I'm going to do my best to fill this world with all these rich, wonderful Sims that you all have created. Unfortunately, there's so little households specifically in this town. Obviously, one of my biggest complaints with The Sims 4 is how small these worlds are. So I can't just toss a bunch of them in. It has to be kind of methodically done as we need them. So like soon we'll be finding someone for Sawyer. Probably not in this episode because he's still a preteen, but probably in the next episode, one of our primary things will be to find somebody for Sawyer to be interested in. And that reminds me that I have not rolled for his marriage yet. This family, they're twins, and they are by, I hope I say this creator's name correctly, Seiko Sky created the twins, and we have moved them into the old house that Lassie lived in, but we're just going to pretend it's a new house. It's a different house. There is a very limited number of them. So they are pretty wealthy, but their parents have passed away during the Great Famine. I have added one of Folk's friends from when he was a kiddo, Sigrid. I have had her and Damon get married, and they have a baby, which I need to rename. It was just born. But they do have a baby. We need to change the last name. I want to have a more in-depth discussion about the issue of diversity. I don't think it's going to be during this particular episode because I want to talk about Rune. We're going to be discussing some of the historical context around some of these issues in a delicate and meaningful way. But I don't want to fall too heavily on like color blindness or color consciousness. I want to find a good middle ground. But during this time, I'll just quickly touch on this now. But during this time, it was actually like before that there were any real, so it was before the slave trade started, right? This is well before that. So at this time, there weren't any strong, like very strong sentiments either way from what we know, okay? You know, we're still in the 1300s. What we do know is based off of the very limited records that we have. And there are records of skilled artisans that are of African descent. And there's some artwork that has celebrated darker skinned people during this time. We can't allow what we know now and what we have experienced in our lifetimes. I'm American, so this is, you know, something that is a little bit even more extreme here, I think, because, you know, of the American Civil War and Reconstruction and Jim Crow and all of that that has happened here. But we can't let what we know cloud what they knew then. It's a very deep and complex issue, and I want to make sure that I'm handling it in a way that makes sense. And I do not ever want to look like I am skirting over any of those issues, because I'm not, or B, I don't want to highlight and glorify some of the more negative things in the history. I do want to be as historically accurate as possible, but there is a line between, you know, being color conscious and being historically accurate and being color blind. I don't want to be completely color blind, pretend that everything was hunky-dory. Right now, that is easier. Once the slave trade and the historical context around that comes into play, that's a different story, and I'm still not sure how I'm going to handle it. So for now, we are just going to say this is a wealthy family. That's per the person who created them. Sorry about the dog. They are a wealthy family. They were left money. So we're going to say that they are skilled tradespeople, and that is where they've gotten the money from. There is a story of a man who is nameless, but it's one that pops up when you research this topic about Africans during the medieval period. There is a gentleman, we don't know his name. Here's one of the issues with stuff like this, historical records. There just weren't historical records that made a point. Like census data didn't exist. We don't know how many precisely there were, but there is one that's cited by historians all the time. I will leave some links, and I'll leave links for what we're going to talk about with Rune as well. But he was of African descent, and he's well known because he was so good at his craft, and it was like needle making or something like that. And he was so good at his craft, but he would not share with anybody, and you know, the secrets of his craft. So he was well known for that, and he was in Cheapside. I will leave a link to kind of that story if I can find one. A lot of times it's mentioned in like more detailed papers and books, but if I can find a reference to it online, I will share that. So he's well known for being of African descent, living in Cheapside, England, and being super good at his trade. There's also records of some people of color, mostly going to be African descendants, but there's records of them having interracial marriages during this time, and B, getting wealthy enough to own property enough to be able to vote. So we have records of that as well. So we're going to presume right now that they're just a part of this society. They are skilled artisans, and we will say that they make needles, like the story that I was talking about, and they won't share that secret of that craft with anybody else. But Sigrid has gone and married Damon. Daisy is still living there. She's a teen, and obviously she will get married at some point. But for now, Damon is married to Sigrid. And we will figure out, maybe we will have Sawyer, since he's a teen now, maybe he can be friends with her. We'll see how they get along and things like that. But we do still have to roll for him to figure out if he's going to get married. We'll have more of a discussion about this topic later today. I do want to touch on Rune really quick first. I don't want to do too much historical stuff in one episode, going over the history too much. We need to go see Thora and roll for the baby. Okay, we will have to find a name for you. All right, so now with our revised aging system, it's going to be more likely that this little bean is going to pass away. So we cannot roll a 1, 5, 10, 15, or 20. 1, 5, 10, 15, or 20. 6. Okay, the little one is going to survive. We will have to rename him. And we have to roll for Thora, get off the computer. Come here. Yeah, okay, I still haven't updated the house. Sue me. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okie doke. Don't think I touched on this when I went over it, but I added a death roll to childbirth. So now it's not just 1, it's 1 or 10. So they roll 1 or 10 and they pass away during childbirth. Okay. 8. So she is okay. That's good. So Thora has a new baby and they're both going to survive. So that is awesome. So we have Catherine, Quentin, who we are going to have to probably rename. And Catherine is going to age up. So that's how far behind we were with her. I don't know, y'all. I am so, glad I decided to set MC Command Center to automatically age them up, because I can't keep up with all of that. And the fact that it messed up and it stopped aging them. If it wasn't for that, we would be in good shape. Let's leave Catherine for a minute. I will figure that out. And we'll figure out where she's supposed to be. And maybe I'll take care of that during the next episode. That's a lot right now. We'll come back and try for her after a day or so. Let's go visit Rune and have a little chat about Rune. All right, so happy Pride Month, y'all. I put it in the disclaimer in the description of the video. I put a little disclaimer in there that we're going to be talking about some topics that are particularly sensitive in historical context. So we had some comments about this, about the historical context surrounding homosexuality during the medieval period. And here's the thing. Today, we tend to look back on history and think it was always a certain way. We don't really know all that much about this time period, unfortunately. We do have historians who are now focusing on things like queer history. So during this time, I think for us, the safest way that we can look at it is folk cannot go parading around that he is gay or might be gay or whatever he's currently feeling. If he ends up with a man, so he can't go announcing this. A lot of what we know about the history of queerness during the medieval period, especially this early, it's even more of a gray area because it was so early. That is a freaking cute cat. I keep getting distracted. So a lot of the ideas that homosexuality was wrong and should be persecuted and all of that was based around the Catholic Church, okay? Now remember, this group of Sims specifically, they are peasants, they're serfs. They don't really know how to read. Folks learning how to read now, but overall, they are illiterate. So during this time, it was based around religion. We have to remember who was king during this time, King of England. From 1284 to 1327, it was King Edward II of England. Some historians say that Edward's relationship with the Earl of Cornwall could be called a church-sanctioned same-sex marriage. Now, that's a monarch, an all-powerful being, right? We have kind of the opposite thing going on here. A peasant. Now, while he knows that what he's feeling isn't mainstream, no one's really paying attention to what he's doing, right? So as long as he lays low, and keeps it quiet, it's okay. It is what it is. And he came here to be with Mare because she is very, she would be considered a progressive person. She's always been kind of a rebel and questioning things. She likes to deceive people. So she's going to be super into, she literally likes deception. So she's going to be into helping folk hide a relationship. So he's probably going to end up staying with her, if not forever, at least for a long while, right? That is why he came here, because he knew that she would be able to help him. I think it was in 2020, there was I think he was a historian who posted something on Twitter that kind of went viral. I will link this in the description as well. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm going by memory here. But the story went like viral on Twitter because a historian who, I think he was even maybe a scholar of medieval sexuality, like this is what he's actually studying. Don't quote me, could be wrong on that, but he came across this story, and it's actually kind of a famous tale that from all indications was something that was told a lot during this time period. And I don't want to get too graphic. I will link the story in the description if you want to read it. But a woman went to the king and was basically, you know, kings were like all-powerful, all-knowing beings to the people, right? She went to the king and she said, I need you to tell me who the father of my child is. I have not been with a man. And she's like begging the king to determine who the father of her child is. The king basically asks her if she's laid with a woman. And the woman admits that she has been with a woman. And the king determines that the father of the child is the man that the woman she laid with had laid with before laying with her. That's a lot of laying. But basically he said that the woman she had been with a man, and then brought that baby making element into the bed when the two women laid together, and it made its way into her womb, and that is the father of her child. So this is a story during the medieval period of a woman admitting to the king that she had this relationship with a woman, and it became like a tale that was told during and around this time. And here's another thing that kind of goes back to the issue that I'm talking about, when it's like we just don't really know too much about this specific time period. So this story of the woman who became pregnant and the king told her it was because of leftover evidence of the other woman being with a man, that was like a poem that was removed from the translation of a book or a document in 1938, I believe. So somebody in 1938 was translating, you know, a document that was in a different language, whatever, and decided they did not like this story of this woman laying with another woman and becoming pregnant, and removed it from the translation. So when this medieval scholar found it and posted it on Twitter, it was kind of like a new discovery, even though it's existed for a long time. So these are the kind of things that muddle history. It muddles what we know. We cannot always say, oh, just stop going to school. This house is very annoying, and I'm just talking while all this chaos is happening in the background. Let's go home. But long story short, history is not always easy to understand. Like, we cannot just say in a blanket way this is how things were in the 1300s, because there are complicated issues, and us as human beings have made them even more complicated by not always allowing some of these things to pass by without us putting our own perceptions into it. And that's what makes historians' jobs so important, because just because something has been studied for so long doesn't mean there's not more to know about it. And sometimes we have to confront these issues, like this poem being removed from a translation in the 1930s because somebody in the 1930s decided it wasn't worthwhile and shouldn't be in there, or they decided that it wasn't a story that should be told. And that's just one of many examples of why these things are... Is this what we are going to have to deal with you? What is happening? When did the cat die? While we were gone? No! Taco? Aw, the cat died. Oh, honey. From losing a friend. Aww. Anyway, I'm going to leave some links in the description for some of the things that citations for some of the things that I've been talking about. But just note that also King Edward was not the only, like, person from ancient history or medieval history, specifically around this time, that historians suspect was queer. I just pointed that one out because it's one that a lot of people know about, and it's kind of more accepted that's just, we know that, that he was. And he was king during the time that our Sims are currently alive. Now, they probably didn't know that this was going on with the king then, like Rune doesn't know that the king's out there laying with the Earl of Cornwall, but it just gives you an idea of kind of during this time period. Yeah, the church is going to say it's wrong, but for serfs and peasants, or, the people in the highest power possible, like the king, it's a little more of a gray area, right? He, as long as he hides it and he doesn't go parading around, I just want to make it clear that, just a blanket statement saying that, it wouldn't have been accepted during that time, it doesn't really paint the whole picture, right? And we're trying to follow somewhat historically accurate story. But I'm also not going to erase the fact that there have been people, queer people, throughout history. Just because it wasn't accepted doesn't mean they did not exist. And happy Pride Month, everybody. We never want to go back to that. But, maybe even if he does understand that the church thinks that what he's doing is wrong, maybe he believes that that's worth dying for, being yourself. And he's not going to get married and have children just to hide. I just want to be clear that, yes, unfortunately, during this time, it would be something that would have to be hidden. I don't even want to say hidden, just not broadcasted, right? If he was truly hiding it, he would get married, right? But he's not. So we are just going to roll with that. Volk and Edward have a strict family dynamic, I guess. I mean, he's about to play with him. I don't know why it would trigger that. Aww. But yeah, we will talk more about all of these historical issues as we go. So rude. Sawyer acted maliciously towards Lassie. Dislikes malicious interactions. I did put everybody's likes and dislikes in the family tree, but as they add new ones, I don't know that I'm going to be able to put them on there, like keep up with that. That's a lot. All right, so now that we've talked about that, we will come back when the baby getting called an alien. How could they claim that Lassie is an alien? Oh, she needs some romance in her life. Well, honey, you're about to have a baby. Okay, so we will come back when she is in labor. All right, Lassie is bursting. She is in labor. All right. In the next episode, we have to age up Huxley, Catherine, this new baby. Oh gosh, I don't even know what else.
Ayola. Oh. Oh, Scoofa. Oh. Oh. Nubu.
Nuh-uh. Another boy? Let's do Elwine. Oh. Wow, okay. They have a girl. I have names for girls. So Elwine and Elfrida. Those go really well together. I will never remember those names, but they do go very well together. Wow, we had twins. Her second set of twins. Okay, so 1 or 10, and she dies. And we have to roll twice. So this is something I was not doing previously that was pointed out to me. It didn't cross my mind. Like, I forgot that that was a thing, but you're supposed to roll twice when you have twins. So 1 or 10. Okay. Okay, so she's all right. Good, good. Elfwine first? That's his name, right? Come up. Elwine. I said Elfwine. Elwine is first. Newborn son. And it's 1, 5, 10, 15, or 20, and he passes away. Oh, are you serious? Elfrida. Will our first girl survive? 1, 5, 10, 15, or 20, and she passes away. Oh my gosh. Even making that harder, and the babies that have been born since I've made it harder have survived. Wow. Okay, so with that, I am ending this a little sooner than I intended, but there's just a lot of footage in this one because I did backtrack. So happy Pride Month, everybody. Please be respectful in the comments, and we will see how we do moving forward. We will have some birthdays like pretty much immediately again in the next episode. So look forward to that, and I hope you have a fabulous week. See you later. Bye.